Hi everybody, Anthony here from Awesome Anthony Productions, and today I'm going to give you my review of the next film in the rebooted Transformers timeline, Transformers Rise of the Beasts. But before we get started, you know exactly what to do. Please leave a like to help out the channel, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss any of my new content. Now let's get into it. Just a warning, there is a ton of plot to this movie, so I apologize if this next part drones on. Rise of the Beast bumps us up from Bumblebee's 1987 to the year 1994, where we meet Anthony Ramos as Noah Diaz, an unemployed former Marine that's trying to find a job and be a rock for his single mother, played by Lauren Velez, and helping to get treatment for his younger brother with cystic fibrosis, Chris, played by Dean Scott Vasquez. But since they've fallen on hard times, they obviously don't have any insurance, and Noah can't find a job, he takes a business proposition and helps to steal a Porsche. Yeah, big surprise, the Porsche turns out to be a Transformer, Mirage, voiced by Pete Davidson, who actually does a really great job, but I'll get to that later. Mirage is one of the Autobots, and after receiving a signal from Optimus Prime, like literally right as Noah got in his car. By the way, Optimus Prime is once again voiced by the incomparable Peter Cullen. I'm gonna do my best impression here. Autobots, roll out! Anyway, after getting that message, Mirage takes Noah along to meet up with Optimus Prime.
You brought a human here?
I'm nobody. I ain't even seen nothing. I'm not even seeing anything right now.
Bumblebee, Liza Koshy's RC, Cristo Fernandez's Wheeljack, who actually looks like himself this time and not a crazy demented Albert Einstein, and John DiMaggio's Stratosphere. Optimus brought them all together for one big reason. The reason that got me so excited for this movie. He found a signal for the transwarp key, the portal opener that belongs to the Maximals. Yes, one of the biggest parts of this movie is adapting one of the only Transformers shows that I actually watched as a kid, Beast Wars. Anyway, Optimus wants to find the transport key and use it to transport the Autobots back to Cybertron before the evil Terracons, Peter Dinklage's Scourge, and Michaela J. Rodriguez's Nightbird get their hands on it and use it to bring Unicron, the World Devourer, to Earth. That journey will lead them right into Dominic Fishback's Elena, a museum worker who's an artifact researcher, and send her, Noah, and the rest of the Autobots across the globe, where they will meet the Maximals, a group of Transformers that transform into animals, or robots that look like animals, Ron Perlman's Optimus Primal, Michelle Yeoh's Air Razor, David Sobolov's Rhinox, and Tangai Choriza's Cheetor. Man, there are a lot of characters in this movie. Will they get to the transwarp key first? Or is Earth fucked? Right away, in comparing this to all the Michael Bay films, this is already a step up, even from that pretty good first one. Though it doesn't hit the emotional highs of Bumblebee or get even close to the visual spectacle of Dark of the Moon, this one instead focuses more on being a 90s cartoon brought to life, and I think they really should be praised for that. Yeah, the story is a little overcomplicated and silly, but it's right in line with this G1 approach to the Transformers, making room for plenty of gleefully over-the-top action sequences and bits of fan services that I really didn't mind. It also helps that Pete Davidson gives a fantastic voice performance as Mirage that's trying to emulate the whole like hip-hop scene from the mid-90s, making almost everything he says absolutely hilarious.
Back up! Oh, I thought we were boys!
And though he is pretty funny and has a lot of comic scenes in the movie, his building friendship with Noah throughout the movie is actually very heartwarming, and does lead to one emotional moment towards the end that I thought was very well done. The rest of the Autobots have no real development whatsoever aside from Optimus just wanting to get them home, but that's not really a big deal because the movie is already packed to the brim with giant talking robots. They all still have that cool, colorful G1 design that helps with telling them apart and actually gives their characters a lot of personality. And the fact that they all get to participate in the action scenes and each get a badass moment along with some jokes and one-liners definitely doesn't hurt. This definitely extends to the Maximals, who all have intimidating voices and are designed really well and badass to the point when whenever they're on the screen, which isn't really that much, they definitely leave an impact. And Scourge and Nightbird are effective villains that are actually pretty scary in some of their scenes. And Unicron is just so well done, taking his G1 design and updating it to make it much more cinematic and modern. And with the way he looms over this film, he honestly feels like their version of Thanos or Darkseid, and it works. All of these well-defined, personality-laden Transformers really elevates this movie where others fell, giving it its own identity and making it pretty satisfying for fans of the cartoon, the original toys, and Beast Wars, something that is really elevated a ton during those awesome action scenes. Getting away from the Transformers, I gotta say that Noah is a pretty good lead character, though he didn't really connect with me as much as Haley Steinfeld's Charlie. However, Anthony Ramos is a great actor in my opinion, and his sympathetic backstory and heartwarming relationship with his little brother go a long way in helping us connect with him, and the fact that he is full of charm and has great comedic timing definitely helps. And like I said earlier, his friendship with Mirage is the heart of this movie, just like how Bumblebee and Charlie's friendship was the heart of the last one. While I'm going on positives, I want to bring up the fan service and nostalgia. I know critics always harp on that kind of thing, but it made me smile. It's for the fans, right? And it works. From the hip-hop laden soundtrack to Chris's Game Boy. So between the Transformers and Maximals themselves, our lead and his relationship with Mirage, the dedication to the 90s setting, and the willingness to go over the top and into cartoonish territory makes this a pretty fun and faithful adaptation. But I do have a few complaints. sense. Bringing the Transformers back again, they really sidelined my boy Bumblebee hard here. No spoilers, but he's basically completely absent from the middle part of this movie, and since he's one of my favorites, that was pretty disappointing. I also think it would have been nice to see the Maximals get a little more screen time, but with the fact that this is barely over 2 hours and has a huge cast, I was pretty satisfied with what we got. And back to the human side of things, though the entire cast was fine, and Dominique Fishback did do a good job, her character wasn't all that necessary, and she's more of a plot device than anything else with not much in the way of characterization. But that's all I have with complaints, so overall I think this was a pretty good movie, and definitely a good summer movie. Yeah, it's not as good as Bumblebee, but it's nowhere near the worst of the franchise, and it's even better than the first film from 2007, though that will always have a special place in my heart. But as a casual Transformers fan that actually watched a bit of Beast Wars as a kid, this really felt like a 90s cartoon come to life with a big budget, and I was pretty happy with it, even with the few drawbacks that keep this movie from being great. And that's my review of Transformers Rise of the Beast. If you like this review, please leave a like to help out the channel, subscribe, and ring the bell so that you never miss any of my content. You can also find links to my socials in the description below. Leave a comment with your thoughts, and while you're at it, you can click or tap on these cards here. It'll take you into my review of Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, or just over to my channel where you can check out my reviews, my shorts, and my old shit. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm Anthony from Awesome Anthony Productions, and I will see you next time for my review of The Flash.